Let's go live. 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 Yeah, yeah, get it, get it. Get it, get it. Get it, get it. Happy Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, Tuesday Takeover here on the Kempire channel. We're also live on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and behind the scenes here on TikTok. Thank you, TikTok. Keep tapping your screens, and thank you so much for the gifts. Shout out to our King's Guard. Shout out to our channel members. Shout out to our subscribers. Shout out to our haters. Ooh. Let me just tell you something. If you put yourself out there on social media and you say that you aspire to do something like this, maybe be an influencer or content creator, please understand, don't listen to the haters. Don't let the distractors stop you from doing what you're trying to do, because there will always be one person outside the club mad and hating on you. I'm not talking specifically, okay? I'm being inspired to share this because I think I'm supposed to say this now for those that follow me that want to do similar work or something else that's public facing. Please do not let the distractors, if this is something that you're passionate about, if you have to put yourself out there, do not let one or two people, because if you really did the analytics, and I've said this before about our channel, if you really did the analytics, the amount of people that do not like you versus those that do like you and support you and what you're doing, it doesn't even compare. We need to stop giving focus to the 1% that do not like us or do not agree with us. And here's the thing. If you're new to our Kempire community on any platform, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, you are welcome to have a differing opinion. Our community doesn't always agree with me. How dare you? How dare you? You're supposed to agree with me. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. But I say this to say, because we always start off Tuesday Takeover with some good news and a little inspiration, okay? A little inspiration. But before we get into the good news, let's get into the mess. All right, let's go. Oh my goodness. There we go. Come on now. Why is this not working?
Baby, baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse. You make a fire. I'll add the fuel. Follow me, lead it. Just watch the shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, don't forget we are live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and behind the scenes here on TikTok. Replay crew, we have never forgotten about you. Be sure to let us know your thoughts on some of the hottest topics of the week that we will be covering during our Tuesday Takeover. For those that say, Kempire, have you talked about this or you've talked about that? A lot of the times the shows and hot topics that you want me to talk about, I do during our Tuesday Takeover. We did a couple of weeks ago a special Friday night live, TGIF live. I think we need to do it again. I'm not sure if it will be this Friday just because I'm just bombarded. I have a lot of things going on ever since our sold out show here in New York City for the Kempire After Dark show. Let's start off with some good news. Yes, we had a sold out show here in New York City. It was so much fun. It was so much love. I loved our meet and greet right before. You guys came out on a Thursday night, a late show on a Thursday night, and we sold out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We do not take that for granted. If anything, that has reminded us that we need to do another New York City show, probably sometime in late spring, early summer. Okay, because August, y'all know I like to travel. Can I go somewhere this year? But we have more tour dates coming up. We are hoping to solidify those dates in the next week or two, hopefully. But February 16th, DC, you're up next, and that is selling out quickly. There's only 30-something seats left for DC. So if you've been waiting to buy your ticket, wait no longer. Wait no longer. Be sure to check out the description for more details. For those that are listening, it will be available in the episode description as well. For those that are listening, guys, don't forget you can hear our live recaps and special episodes like the one that we did over the weekend about Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion. That's exclusively on the podcast platform. So be sure to head on over there and subscribe and give us a 5-star rating. So that is my good news. As always, I want to know what's your good news today. Be sure, replay crew, and those of you that are watching now, let me know what's your good news today. I like to know. All right. All right. Some other good news. J-Lo has a new song out. Wait. Y'all are so disrespectful. No, I really like J-Lo. I really do like J-Lo. I like J-Lo. I love her personality. I think she actually is an amazing talent, both musically and as an actress. And she works hard. She works hard. But this new song and album came out, and I was just like, well, I guess not album, but the new song. So J-Lo looks great in her new music video. All right, it's called what? Can't Get Enough, featuring Lotto. A lot of y'all hating on Lotto a lot. So apparently people were like, why are you collabing with J-Lo? Why wouldn't she collab with J-Lo? She's collaborated with Mariah Carey. Oh, it's because of the Mariah Carey, I don't know her situation. Is that why? No. All right. Danny says J-Lo's still fighting with singing. You know what? Her daughter can sing her face off, though. Her daughter got it from her daddy. Okay? All right? Mark Anthony is a singer. And her daughter, yes. Daughter. Okay? Anyways. But I have to say, I don't hate the song. I don't hate the song. But it sounds so much like other songs that J-Lo has done over the years. So there's nothing special to her new song. It sounds like something that she may have done before. That's why when I heard it, I was like, oh, it's a new song. Oh, okay. Okay. User multiple numbers behind it says Mark Anthony sells out at the Garden yearly. Yeah, Mark Anthony can sing. Mark Anthony can sing. All right. J-Lo doesn't have a bad voice. It's just not a strong voice. And there are plenty of singers that are huge that don't necessarily have strong voices. You may have seen that there's now this public debate because of Shay, Shannon Sharp, talking about how Taylor Swift moves the needle more than Beyonce. I'm tired of these conversations. But I get it. People got podcast equipment, so they're coming up with all kinds of conversations. But I'm tired of us always comparing Beyonce to Taylor Swift or some other person that in the industry that doesn't look like us. I'm just saying. I'm tired of that. Beyonce is in a league of their own. Taylor hails Beyonce. Taylor has a lot of respect for Beyonce as well, and I think vice versa. But I'm tired of the conversation. Before it was a Beyonce versus Michael Jackson. They are all great in their own right. What are you doing that's great and moving the needle? That is my question. Okay, not Shannon, but I want to know, what are you doing? Twitter, the internet will have this big conversation, these big debates, these big thesis on things. And I'm thinking to myself, what exactly are you doing that's so great? Not saying that you're not, but we're having these big debates on Beyonce doesn't move the needle the way that Taylor does. Okay, both of them are great at whatever they do, including Taylor. And now Taylor's doing Mm-mm. No, I'm tired of these debates and think pieces. Tired of it. But, of course, we had to talk about it here during our Tuesday takeover. Anyways, moving on. I didn't even expect to even talk about that. So, J-Lo has new music out. You know who else has new music out? Where's my bitch? Justin Timberlake. Stop it. Leave Justin alone. Leave Justin. Here's the thing. You know we love Janet Jackson, okay? And every Super Bowl, we are like, this is Janet Jackson Appreciation Day. But if Janet Jackson doesn't hate Justin Timberlake, I think we can move on and let Justin live. That last album was terrible, though, Justin. It wasn't good. So I said, let me give Justin a chance because you know I have an open hoard. Is he invited to the cookout? No. Not anymore. Not anymore. Not the way he turned on Janet. No, you've been disinvited. But that doesn't mean he can't have good music. All right? So I heard his new song, Selfish, because you know the Britney Spears fans were like, oh, we're not streaming his Selfish. We're going to stream Britney's Selfish, which you guys have called, you have done that. All right? Well, Britney Spears is speaking out in defense of Justin and apologizing and forgiving him. But before I even get into that, I listened to the song Selfish. He's been in the studio back with Timbaland. I know a lot of you will say Culture Vulture. Okay, calm down. As soon as I tweeted that I kind of like this song, some of y'all had visceral reactions about me saying I like a song. Please understand, I'm not going to change my view based off of how you guys think. I'm going to have my own view. All right? I can like a song, and you might not like it. That's fine. Or you might not like the fact that Justin has done whatever he's done over the years. I can like a song. I can separate the person from the song. Doesn't mean I have to go support Justin either. But I did like the song. I was like, wait a minute. This is kind of... Okay, Justin. And then that other song, Sanctified. Okay. Vicky's watching on Facebook. Vicky said, yes, spoken like a Taurus. Yeah, people think they really gonna move my opinion based off of how they feel on the internet. Nope. Look, no, I'm gonna have my opinion. This is where being a Taurus and being stubborn works for me. I'm not gonna change. Anyway, so I heard the song, Selfish. I was like, this is not a bad song. All right. Especially as someone that is a singer, songwriter, that has a history of following music, covering music, interviewing artists, you know, really breaking down songs, especially R&B songs. I was like, all right. Okay, Justin. And then Sanctified. We have to remember Justin is from Tennessee. Okay. So, you know, he's got that Southern thing about him too. And I'm sure he grew up, because I have a friend that's from Tennessee that grew up with a bunch of black folks too. So when I look at Justin, I kind of think of my friend. Anyways, I say all that to say I like the song and I like Sanctified, which leads me to Brittney, because a lot of y'all weren't this mad when he did what he did to Janet and turned his back on Janet. Okay, we were. Y'all, the rest of the world got mad and canceled Justin after Britney Spears. But we'll leave that. You know what that is anyways. Well, Brittney is defending Justin. Okay, let me just read to you what Brittney had to say, okay? So Brittney's defending Justin on her social media. This is what Brittney said. Where's the Brittney tweet? There we go. So Brittney says this: I want to apologize for some of the things I wrote about in my book. If I offended any of the people I genuinely care about, I am deeply sorry. I also wanted to say I'm in love with Justin Timberlake's new song, Selfish, rose emoji. It's so good, and how come every time I see Justin and Jimmy together, I laugh so hard? P.S. Sanctified is wow, too. Well, I already know the Britney fans will be like, who has Britney's Instagram account? I think Brittney has an open heart like we do over here. And she's just like, I like the song. What I wrote about Justin was true, But I'm older now. I've moved on. I've put all my heart and soul into the book. I've sort of made peace. Sometimes, writing a book does that for someone. Brittney said, I like the song. The song slaps. Look, the song, it does. All right? Art World says, Brittney, don't apologize, girl. He's good. Yes, CM says Team JC. We are Team JC over here. He really should have had the bigger career. JC Chazé, come on. Come on. Can we talk? We always talk about it here. Damn that voice. I haven't even heard JC sing in a long time. JC, can you just drop a bar or something? Not a bar. Drop something. Just do something. Just go on Instagram Live right now and start singing. Why is he not singing solo? And I'm not talking about doing it for the charts or things like that. No. All right, JC. Justice for JC. All right, Justin. You already got enough time from me. Okay, get out of here. Get out of here. I'm over him. Look, I'm over him. So I wanted to tell you guys that about the new music that has come out. All right. We'll talk about some more new music that came out over the weekend. I knew when I posted the video that I posted on TikTok and on Instagram when I was talking about Nicki Minaj go to sleep, I already knew when I posted on Twitter the Barbs would be out. I muted it. Barbs, you're fighting in an empty room by yourself. You're muted. I don't see what you're saying. As soon as it started getting traction, I said, mute. Y'all in an empty room fighting by yourselves. Mind you, some of these Barbs are grown. Stop. Anyways, let's move on. Let's get into, we will get back. We will get back to Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion. Both ladies are setting all kinds of records. For those that are watching the replay of this, we will be posting the timestamp so you can jump to the stories that you enjoy. But I hope you enjoy the entire Tuesday Takeover, which is a mix of reality TV news, and pop culture news, very much like Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion. All right, let's move on to... I just want to briefly talk about this. Very briefly. This was in my notes. Matter of fact, let me just send the picture over because we don't normally talk about Chrisean Rock. Okay. Shut. We don't normally talk about her. However, we did recently talk about her a couple of weeks ago in regards to the Tamar Braxton situation. All right? We did briefly talk about her then. Where's my, oh, here it is. Hold on. Let me just send it to my computer. Thank God. See, the Apple ecosystem's amazing. All right? So Chrisean, you know who Chrisean Rock is. Some of you don't. Some of you don't want to know who she is. But this is Tuesday Takeover, so we are covering what we are covering, okay? I just want to make sure we talk about all the things because, some of the audience wants to get an update. All right? Some of the audience wants to get an update in regards to Chrisean and Blueface. Well, Blueface is locked up. Locked up, they won't let me out. They won't let me out. Locked up, they won't let me out. Sorry. Every time I talk about someone being locked up, that comes to mind. All right. So Chrisean, as you know, Chrisean used to have a tattoo, or maybe you don't know. Well, she used to have a tattoo of Blueface around her neck. And if you've been following, look, I feel like I'm forced to follow because as I'm swiping through some of my favorite blogs, their stories always come up. It always comes up. So I saw this and I said, wait a minute. First of all, she had gotten rid of the Blueface tattoo. She had joined with her with one of his other, I guess his wife? I don't even know. I can see that. I don't know all the specific details. They had ransacked his home, okay? So we thought they were done. She has Chrisean has a baby by Blueface. Blueface is locked up. Do we know how long Blueface is locked up for? Hopefully forever. No, I'm playing. No, am I playing? I just don't want to see them on the timeline anymore. But I had to talk about this because I was like, you cannot be this less than smart. I'm just going to say dumb. So she went through all of this to get rid of the tattoo of him around her neck, because apparently he had a chokehold on her, to putting this man on her face. So a lot of people thought that it was fake, but no, I saw video footage and she said, no, it's not fake. It's real. So she's going hard for her prison daddy. And I always see people go up for Chrisean. Are you guys still going up for Chrisean? Are you? I never have. I just sat back and wait. I was just like, no, 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 no. On your face, right here. All right, girl. Your body, your choice. What are they famous for besides their ratchet relationship? What are they famous for? Oh, he's in jail for 6 months. Damn, that's not long enough. That's not long enough. 6 months. Wow. All right. I don't know. Do I say congratulations, Chrisean? A whole tattoo. First of all, you would think the next generation would learn from the mistakes of this generation and past generations. You know how the past generations used to put their boo's name on their bodies? Now we're putting faces? How do we go from less than smart to real dumb? Okay. Anyways, I'll move on. Look, I'll move on. I just had to talk about it because I did report on it on our TikTok and on Instagram. We will move on. So Chrisean's got a tattoo of Blueface on her face. Did you guys know that Cher was fighting for a conservatorship of her son? I was like, I didn't know that this was happening. I've been so focused on Cher's love life, I didn't realize she's been fighting to get ownership of his, not ownership. Well, it's kind of like ownership when you think about it. A conservatorship of him. Okay, let me give you an update on this. For those that don't even know what Cher's son even looks like, let me bring this photo up. Hold on. Let me bring this up. I feel for Cher, though, because it seems like she feels like this is the only way, because she's alleging that he has addiction issues. So TMZ reports that she recently lost a battle to have the conservatorship over her son. Okay. So they write this. They said Cher wants to put her son into a conservatorship, but he says that he doesn't need one. And for now, a judge is still siding with him, yet again denying her request to lock him down. Ooh. So Elijah Blue Allman was stone-faced heading into his temporary appointment hearing Monday, where a judge will presumably decide if Cher will, in fact, be tapped to head up a conservatorship for her adult son. This is after temporarily denying her earlier this month. In early January, the court blocked Cher's effort to put Elijah into a conservatorship, siding with Elijah's attorneys when they argued they hadn't been given enough time to make their case against the conservatorship, plus not getting docs they needed to combat her request. So Cher cited her son's ongoing battle with addiction as a key reason why she wants legal apparatus used on him. Or wants the legal apparatus used on him, claiming he can't be trusted to manage his finances on his own. She specifically says that the regular payments he receives from a trust left behind from his late father, Greg Allman, because I was wondering, I was like, so what money does he have? What does he do for work? So he has money from his father, his late father, are likely to be squandered because of his issues, she claims Elijah continues to experience, but he's called BS on that, saying he's cleaned up his act. Okay. Huh. Well, the judge heard the arguments anew, and he once again shot down Cher and her team, simply saying that they hadn't proven Elijah doesn't have the capacity to handle his own affairs, going on to say that an alleged bipolar disorder diagnosis in and of itself doesn't necessarily mean he's incompetent. As the judge said, that doesn't address capacity. The court also acknowledged that Elijah has proven in paperwork that he's remained clean and sober of late. So what's going on here? Plus, he's also proven that he's handling his money just fine. Cher, what are you trying to do? The judge set a future date for a trial on this issue where it will presumably be decided once and for all, and went on to suggest Cher and her kid head into mediation, stat. Cher beamed in remotely, not beamed in, remotely, by the way. It was only Elijah, his wife, and all the lawyers in court today. So he also has a wife. I mean, I haven't heard all of the information in regards to this case, so I can't sit here and say, oh, Cher is completely wrong. But based off of the basic information here, that he's proven that he's been able to manage his money and be sober, Cher, what are you trying to do? Does he not like your new boyfriend? You know her new boyfriend, Amber Rose's ex and baby's father. I'm trying to understand. Okay. I mean, look, you'll have to prove your case in court, but I don't know how I feel about conservatorships, especially after the Britney Spears situation, because sometimes I feel like it could be overreaching. And it makes me wonder why exactly, and I would want to hear Elijah's stance on it. Why exactly does your mother want to control you in this way? Especially if you have documented to the court that you're clean and sober and able to manage your money. It makes me wonder, like, what is that about? What is that about? I mean, this is not a great picture of him because you can tell he doesn't necessarily look 100% sober here, but he does go into court. Okay. And he has a wife. I wonder if he has any children too. All right. So I saw that story and I was like, I got to add that to the docket. I got to add that to the docket. Come on now. All right. You know who else I have to add to the docket? Our girl Adele. So if you've been hoping for an Adele album or tour, no. Look, but go see her in Vegas. I saw her in Vegas. Amazing. I actually prefer to see her in Vegas because I feel like that venue, although it's big, it also feels intimate if you get good seats. I like seeing Adele in Vegas. I mean, I didn't love Vegas. Sorry, Vegas. I didn't like the Strip. It's not Vegas in general. I didn't love the Strip. Especially because of all the construction and there was all kinds of events happening during BravoCon weekend along with BravoCon. It just wasn't enjoyable. It just wasn't enjoyable. You couldn't get like an Uber. It was ugh. But Adele was the highlight for me. Adele was the highlight. So Uprocks writes this in regards to Adele. So Adele's stint in Las Vegas has nearly come to an end, even if you haven't attended the Easy on Me Singers Weekend with Adele's residency. From the clips circulating online, you've laughed, cried, and jammed out from the comfort of your couch. On Saturday, January 26th, she hinted that she isn't done just yet. During her latest residency show, Adele revealed her future performance plans. While chatting with the sold-out crowd, she confirmed that she'll hit the road for a tour following the release of her next full-length studio album. Ooh, okay. She says, I just don't know if I'm going to write an album for quite some time. But next time I do, I don't know how to do her English accent because it's a particular one. But next time I do, I'll come to wherever it is you live. So basically, it's an open-ended thing. We don't know when she's going to do her next album. I'm okay with that with Adele. To me, she's like a throwback to when artists used to take 3, 4, 5 years between albums. I know that's not great for the listening audience, but it makes you miss them a little bit. It makes them at least live life and have something to write about. Did she marry that man? Y'all know that man. LeBron James's agent. Not me knowing the sports. That's all I know. That's all I know. That's the rumor on the street is that she got married to that man. Look, to that man. So if you were expecting Adele and a new album anytime soon, I don't think we were. Did we? I guess maybe. Adele, take your time. She's a tourist like us. Take your time. Don't let people push you. I mean, she won't be pushed. She's a tourist. She will not. I know some of you think that you can push a tourist. Please understand, try and push us and you might get juk in your side with a horn. Back up. Look, back up if you don't want to get hurt. Back up if you don't want to get hurt. Back up if you don't want to get hurt. All right, moving on. Speaking about being hurt, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and we have partnered with our friends over at RHOSLC.com for a discount of $40 off when you use the discount code Kempire40. All right? Kempire40 for $40 off, and you can use the discount code with our code INFLUENCER for free worldwide shipping. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. So stop waiting. TikTok, Instagram. Well, Instagram's not here. Replay crew. Roses that will last you up to a year. You can see, look, I even put the other roses that I had, the red ones behind me, for those that are watching. Go get you some roses. Roses that will last longer than the roses that your boo might get you at the flower store. No offense to the flower store, but don't you want your roses that will smell fresh and actually look fresh for up to a year, maybe longer, depending on how you take care of them? Maybe. Look. More information on how you can get roses and use our discount code will be available in the description of the video or episode if you're listening to this. Don't forget, guys, you can hear special episodes and some of our live recaps on the Kempire podcast, available on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. While you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. Shout out to our members of the channel. Our members, you've got access to a lot of great content over the weekend. Please understand, Team Kempire members and Royal Court members, you will only have access to those videos and audios for a limited time. Senior Royals get access indefinitely. So thank you so much for your monthly support. To become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. All right? All right. Okay. Nicole says the roses will last longer than that. Yeah, I mean, look, I guess legally we can't say that, but Mama Allie says I ordered my roses in my husband's name. I know that's right. Sometimes you got to do it. And I'm sure you use this money too, right? Look. Anyways, let's get into some reality TV talk. If you're new to Tuesday Takeover, this is where we cover a variety of reality TV news, and pop culture news. So it's a mashup. Let's just start with Traitors, because we did talk about Traitors during our Real Housewives of Miami recap on Friday. So if you missed it, I definitely wanted to talk about it again today for those that may have missed it as well. Spoiler alert. Okay, because you should know. Okay, can I say it now? Did the people that didn't want the spoilers leave? Okay, good. All right. So Tamra was voted out. Janelle, Big Brother legend, voted out. Okay, gone. Larsa, gone. Marcus, gone. Peppermint, gone. Ekansu, gone. Max, gone. Sheree's still there. Sheree is still there, going strong. Under the radar because she is not a threat, but terrible entertainment for us. Phaedra's going strong. Look, I'm actually rooting for Phaedra, but then I thought to myself, I think Phaedra's going to disappoint us in so many ways. I don't think Phaedra, I think when it comes to really figuring out her game, I think right now she's not a threat to anyone. That's why she's still in the game. But if we were playing this game, and we knew Phaedra, we would have thought Phaedra was a traitor from the beginning. Wouldn't we? We would have thought Phaedra was a traitor from the beginning. There's no way that I've been like, I think Phaedra's a traitor. She looks like a traitor. She's been a traitor in her real life. Of course they made her a traitor. Look how she was acting about when poor Tamra was, I think Tamra's crying and emotions was because she was really looking forward to that money. She really thought she was going to win. All right. So the next day, Phaedra is so obvious. Again, it's an edited show, so we don't know if they were paying attention or when that particular moment happened. But the way that they edited it made her look so suspect. She's like, ooh, are there any hard-boiled eggs? Any hard-boiled eggs? Did you see Tamara's gone. They're all distraught about Tamara. Any hard-boiled eggs? Any hard-boiled eggs? I'm like, it's so obvious. It's so obvious. But I'm still sort of rooting for her. Dan, I have to say, you've been a big disappointment. If you've watched Dan on Big Brother, he's brilliant. But this is a different type of game. This is not Big Brother. So, being laid back, not sharing your thoughts, has put a big target on his back. And this week, as you know, the Faithfuls had a plan. Shout out to Peter. Peter from The Bachelor. I think that's his name. I can't remember. Unimportant. The Bachelor. The thing is, he's actually pretty smart. And his gameplay, I was like, this might be the best gameplay so far this season. Because the Faithfuls have been a big disappointment. They have. But he tells them not to tell anyone in the house that we're in the house during this game. Don't tell them who got the shields. All right? Bergie and Trishelle got the shields. So they told him, don't tell. Because then that will cover sort of like a blanket of protection for everyone that was out there playing, which was actually smart But then Peter was going to, he went to Dan, he went to CT, he went to Poverty, Poverty, to let them know, oh, we got the shield. Me and Janelle got the shield. But during the meeting with the Traitors, Poverty said we should choose someone in the house to be safe. But Dan, because he's so fixated, he thinks that Bergie's coming for him. He wants to get rid of Bergie. But Bergie has the shield. And I know some people, because I know my initial thought was, oh, I saw Bergie at the round table, so he didn't, it didn't work. No, we have to remember he has the shield. So if Dan did use it, then he's protected. So Bergie's still going to be there. Oh, Bergie. Bergie might be, he's actually pretty smart. His gameplay is really good so far. Like, he played that game and he kind of figured out the pattern. He already sees Dan. He's like, I see Dan for who he is. Sidebar, when they voted out Janelle, Janelle. But Janelle was getting close. She was getting close. And look, I have to say, even if Dan doesn't win, he got Janelle out. And that was the biggest threat, is getting Janelle out of this game, because she was on to him. And everyone turned on her because of, Kevin. Woo, Kevin. I like Kevin now, though, because he's just unintentionally dumb. Well, no, wait, that might be intentional. But he's unintentionally funny with his buffoonery. I like him, though, because he's the reason why Janelle got kicked out. But what I forgot to talk about and mention on Friday when we talked briefly about Traitors, y'all, the fight between Sandra and Janelle, OMG. Sandra was just like, they were cussing at each other, but I did not appreciate Janelle calling Sandra a B. What? I forgot to mention that. It got real heated at the table. Speaking of heated, our girl, Kate Chastain, is back, from season 1. She came in to replace Deontay. So she actually got a vote during this final vote. But they had to convince her of who to vote for. Oh, there was a little heated moment between Kevin and Kate. He's like, you're not listening to me. She's like, I get it. You want to vote out, blah, blah. He's like, that's not what I said. Don't come for Kate. You know what I was thinking in regards to Kate? There are so many names thrown in the hat of people that should replace Andy Cohen on Watch What Happens Live. I think Kate Chastain should do it. What do you guys think? I don't feel like they name enough women in that. They're always naming guys, random guys, to do it. Now, I think Kate Chastain wouldn't be bad. She was great on that, what was it, the Bravo chat room. And anytime she does commentary, I actually really enjoy Kate Chastain's commentary. I know Andy's like, why y'all always trying to replace me? Exactly. FGH says, my mouth is dry. In regards to Sandra, because Sandra took a sip. And she's like, and Janelle's like, why are you taking a sip? Someone's guilty. She's like, my mouth is dry, like mine right now. So I'm taking a sip from my coldest water bottle. The discount code is still available. Kempire 10 for 10% off at Coldest. Okay. I could see Kate hosting Watch What Happens Live. This was a random thought I had while watching the Traitors, because now she's on Traitor season 2. Honestly, let's start by having her host the reunion. I don't think she'd be able to host a reunion this year because she's on the cast, but next year, let's have her host the reunion. I think she would be perfect at it. Perfect. Anyways. Someone said Z-Way. No, Z-Way has had her own show. I feel like Z-Way coming to host Watch What Happens Live would be a downgrade. She had her own show. Why would you want to go host a show that you're not the producer and it's not your show and your original idea? I think Z-Way should continue to, because Z-Way's still doing her own show like on her YouTube channel. I think I'm tired of us, giving up our own things for other people's things. No, I want her to build her own thing, continue to build her own thing. So Z-Way, I get it. Everyone loves Z-Way's commentary when it comes to Bravo related things, but no, Z-Way has her own stuff. She had her own show. I feel like that's a backward turn. We don't need that for Z-Way. We need Z-Way to forward. Anyways. Oh, Deborah said, because I know Deborah. Deborah says, Andy Cohen may not be going anywhere, but he needs to. Okay. Okay. Ooh, he's got heated. So I'm enjoying Traitors. Traitors was what the number one trending show this past week. So the show is doing very well. Kate Chastain, love that she's back. Love her commentary. I'm still somewhat rooting for Phaedra, but I'm concerned. I'm a little concerned for Dan because he's not playing this game right. I think he's going to start mentioning names because people have been saying you've been playing it too safe. I think the target is too much on his back. A lot of people are catching on to him. If he's able to get out of this and make it to the bottom 3, I would be impressed. I don't love the way he's played this game so far, though. MJ is one to watch. I know she got the heat off of Dan this week, but she's one to watch. And so is Poverty. Some of you are fans of Survivor have said, don't sleep on Poverty. Poverty is an expert game player. CT, I think his charm, Phaedra she love her some sweet tea. Oh, not sweet tea, some CT. I mean, look, a lot of you love CT as well. He's one to watch. But you know who's really one to watch? Peter from The Bachelor. Bergie from Love Island. I don't know how he was on that. Danny says that I heard Traitors Australia was canceled after 2 seasons. There's 2 seasons? Did I watch both? Or did the second season just come out? Why was it canceled? Because Australia has a lot of great content, probably. Probably. Bring it over here. We'll produce it. I did watch the Traitors UK. The Traitors UK season 1 is available on Peacock now. I believe season 2 will be available there eventually. Right now, it's airing right now in the UK. So I'm sure we could watch it if we had like a VPN or something. Nikki says Poverty's facial expressions is annoying. Look. DS, thank you so much for the super chat. DS says donation in honor of Mama Ali's son. Thank you. We appreciate the support. Shout out to Mama Ali, one of our King's Guards. Jessica, thank you so much for the super chat. Jessica says, I can't wait to hear Ashanti or Christina Milian. What do you mean? I can't wait to hear Ashanti or Christina Milian. Wait, what? Am I missing something? That was very random. Did I say something? Look, sometimes I forget what I said. Thank you, Alice, for the super chat. Alice says, my condolences for her face. Oh, you guys are extra shady today. HFG, thank you so much for the super chat. HFG says Phaedra is in there with the right people because those of us who've known her would have immediately clocked her. Hashtag boiled eggs. Yeah. I'm actually surprised that no one's sort of like not looking at her. But the thing about Phaedra, she can be very likable and charming. So I can see how she's sort of you can win people over. All right. Oh, it was when we were talking about J-Lo. That's what that Christina Milian and Ashanti diss was about. Okay, now I get it. You guys are hilarious. You guys are hilarious. All right. So moving on from Traitors, let's talk. Below Deck is done until February 5th. Below Deck will be returning, so that they will return next week to our Tuesday takeover. If you missed any of our Below Deck med recaps over the last few weeks, be sure to check out our other Tuesday takeover episodes. Let's talk about 90 Day The Single Life. Oh my gosh, Tyree. So Tyree goes on vacation with his brothers to go find a woman. And his brothers have set the bar very low. They're just like, we just want someone to flirt with them. They don't need to hook up. They don't need to hug or touch. They just want someone to show their brother a little love. And so do we. So do we. We just want someone to show Tyree a little love on a 90 Days of Single Life. And he needs to stop, again, telling people that he was in a relationship with a man when technically he was, but I guess Tyree is emotionally, stunted a little bit because he's a virgin still. So last week we talked a little bit about Tim and Jamal's fight. It ended up not being much of anything. That fight, okay, between those two. But I get why Tim would be upset with Jamal questioning his parenting to Veronica's daughter. I don't believe this as a real storyline, though, for them. Honestly, seeing the fight for me was more comical than it was, oh my God, they're going to fight. It was more like, look at these two. Ew. I was like, look at these two. What are you guys doing? Are you fighting over Veronica? I do feel like Veronica and Tim have an unhealthy relationship and how it would affect her dating life. But I also don't believe that there's any real future with Jamal and Veronica. I think they're a cute couple, but Jamal, I don't think that first of all, he's not even ready to move where she lives. So it's going to continue to be long distance. Also, the maturity doesn't seem there for Jamal. How old is Jamal? Veronica's a lot older than he is, isn't she? I don't believe this. There's a lot on 90 Days of Single Life that I don't believe. All right. And again, John, what's his name's brother? I don't care about his storyline. I refuse to talk about it. His scenes I play in the background, but I'm really not paying attention. I liked him playing the brother role during that season, but I'm so not interested in his dating life. I could care less. I care more about Colty's mom's dating life than his dating life. Remember, because she was on 90 Days of Single Life. We have another Debbie, though, on this season. I actually care more about her dating life. She's going down to Florida to meet her Cuban man. I was like, all right, girl, good for you. And he looks far better than the guy she met in, what was it, Tunisia? Was she met him? Or no, Morocco. She went to Morocco. She's 90 Day Weird, which is fine. It's actually a compliment, being 90 Day Weird. Speaking of 90 Day Weird, Chantel, did you really go to Greece? Did you really go to Greece to find the love of your life after you just got a divorce from someone that you got a green card for? It feels like they just wanted to have some sort of storyline for Chantel moving away from her divorce with Pedro. But then I thought to myself, this week I was only interested in what she said about having babies. She's only 32 years old. She spent 7 years of her life with Pedro. And I was like, oh shoot, I didn't even realize it was that long and that she was that young. So now, she's also a nurse. And so she says, my eggs are about to go into, I forgot what they call it. What did they call it? Not elderly. You guys will remind me. When you go past the age of 35, they said that those eggs are, on their way out. No, not the on your way out. Oh, Shay says Jamal is like 26 or 27. Yeah, and what is Veronica? Veronica's 30-something, right? Geriatric, thank you. I couldn't think of it. Geriatric, her eggs. So she's trying to figure out for herself in regards to, let me fix my glasses. In regards to what she's going to do in regards to having children. She wants to have kids. Wow. For me, that was the only interesting part of her storyline this week. I did not care about this guy that she's randomly dating in Greece. There's no real future here. For me, the biggest thing, I wish they would have just treated 90 Day the Single Life. Instead of trying to get over your ex and do all of this dating, I wish they would just sort of make it like, I'm going to go to Greece and have a good time. And I'm going to go with my friends. Because we're talking about the single life. The single life is not spent always wanting to be in a relationship, right? So I wish they kind of did that with Chantel. I get it. She does want to have children. She does want to have a future, but she's not going to Greece. She's not going to Greece to go find that man. I just feel like they should have. I'm going on vacation. I'm going to get my back broke a couple of times. Then I'm going to go back and then I'm going to focus on getting a relationship. And then we'll bring her back next season and she'll find a boo somewhere in the United States. Not we're going to Greece so I can find the love of my life. No, come on. Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. Anyways, let me tell you something. What's her name? Natalie? Oh, Natalie. First of all, Natalie's mom seems like a really sweet woman. And of course, Natalie's mom still loves Michael, her last husband. I don't know about this Josh guy, but this week, Natalie sits at the dinner table and in Russian does a whole monologue for this producer from Hollywood. This is Josh's friend. He's a producer. And she's like, I've seen your work. I'd like to do a monologue for you in Russian. And she does it in Russian. And honestly, she wasn't bad. What was up with her eye makeup? Was that intentional for the monologue that she was going to do? That eye makeup was heavy. That eyeliner was heavy. She has always wanted to be an actress. Apparently, she was an actress back in the Ukraine. So a lot of people didn't believe her storyline. They thought, oh, she's not real. But she wanted to come here and become an actress. Apparently, she's still in communication with Michael because she FaceTimes Michael next week on next week's episode. Natalie's mom does not really love Josh. I get it because I don't think that Josh really is into Natalie like that. I think Josh is using this as an opportunity to elevate himself on a platform like 90 Day. We have to keep in mind, 90 Day is like the #1 show on Sunday nights. I know that Single Life doesn't come on Sunday nights, but it's still like a top show. It's still a top series and franchise. But when she did that monologue in Russian at the table, the body movement, and they were so impressed. Mind you, you didn't understand a word she was saying. But when you're an actor, it's not about the words that you're saying. It's about the expression. Because I'm sure you remember that Oscar moment when Meryl Streep turned into her character from The Devil Wears Prada. She didn't have to say anything. Her whole facial expression and body language changed in that moment. And I was like, this is why Meryl Streep is one of our greatest actresses. Honestly, I dated an actor one time. He had the same kind of thing. I saw his work. I was like, oh, you're actually a good actor. I was like, okay, I see you. Just saying. Just saying. Moving on. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday Takeover where we cover a variety of reality TV news. We were just talking about 90 Day, the single life. Let's now talk about 90 Day Fiancé, which I just need it to be over. Please, I just need this to be over. This week, Clayton and AnnMarie, she had her bachelorette party. Where did they find that stripper? Where did they find that stripper? Honestly, at the end of the day, first of all, her sister-in-law, is basically saying to her, yeah, he's never going to leave mom. They will live together forever. And Natalie and Nolly's like, what? But the greatest thing to come out of this story is not the love affair between Clayton and AnnMarie. It's the love affair between Clayton and his best friend. I love that for them. They seem like that's the love story that I want to watch. I don't care about the AnnMarie situation. I think AnnMarie did change her mind. I think maybe at some point AnnMarie did have feelings for Clayton. Then she came to the United States and saw how he was living and living with his mom. She saw things that she didn't see before. So she sort of has changed her mind. It seems as if that she might be leaving based off the preview for next week. She's not going anywhere. She's not going anywhere. All right. Green Girl says, I was distracted by the stripper chewing gum the whole time. That was the distracting part? Him chewing gum? The end says his sister was so shady but honest. Oh no, she was perfect for the moment. We needed her this week. Exactly, Julie says Clayton and his BFF equals the love story here. I don't care about Clayton and AnnMarie. I care about finally, and he has to thank AnnMarie for that. AnnMarie's like, you should meet your best friend. She's the reason. All right? She's the reason. Anyways, let's move on because I'm hating this season. Rob and Sophie, she went wedding dress shopping. If you aren't currently talking to your fiance, why are we going wedding dress shopping? She finally tells her mom that she thinks and believes that she's bisexual. Her mom is concerned, well, if you think you're bisexual, don't you think you should try and give that a try before getting married? I mean, that would make sense. But she's 23. I'm so over this couple, to be honest with you. I'm so over them. Jasmine and Gino, thank God we didn't have them this week. They'll be back next week, all right? Nikki and Justin. So Nikki and Justin end up having their engagement party, all right? They're literally people that should be on before the 90 days, but they're on 90 Day Fiancé. They had a K1 visa years ago. Now they're applying for a new one. They're back together. Honestly, I was looking at Nicki. I was like, Nicki, you and the mom looks younger than Nicki. But I told you I don't believe this relationship either. I believe that they did have something years ago, and I think they're in cahoots this time around to be famous. Because this week, Nicki decides, after some coaxing from the family, Nicki, sing your song. And she's like, oh, I wasn't able to do a sound check. I haven't really performed in a long time, but okay. Look, all right. Da 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 da, scissoring. But no. It's more like scissoring. Do 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 do. Scissoring. Do do do. No. It sounded horrible. It did not sound good at all. So for me, I've been saying this for the last few weeks. I feel like they're only on this to be famous. So her performing, I was like, here we go. Here we go. I knew it was coming. I'm going to perform my new single. We don't want it. We don't want it. And even watching the family hype her up and watching Igor go like this, I was like, I don't believe this. And I believe in love. I think I'm a hopeless romantic in some ways, but nope, they're just hopeless. All right. Sam and Citra. So the father shares his concerns with Citra this week in regards to their relationship and his addiction issues. And Citra's father is a cop. And apparently in Indonesia, the drug laws are very serious over there. So he's like, I'm going to take you home because aren't you concerned that if he goes to jail that you're left alone out here? Citra's like, nope, I'm not concerned. I'm moving forward. I told you what I think the situation is. And I'm not one of those people that watch 90 Day and assume that the person coming from another country here is just out to get a green card. I'm not that person. But the people on this season, the good majority, I don't believe that for Sophie and Rob. I don't know what that is. I think they want to be famous. Is this the fame that you want? You do realize that reality TV fame is not the same, right? Right? And a lot of people that come from reality TV don't end up getting to the level of fame that you're probably trying to get to. It's not a lot of people that do it. And based on what I've seen from 90 Day, I've yet to see some from 90 Day become crossover famous. Name them. Look, name them. Name them. I haven't seen it. Ashley. Oh. Ashley, I was rooting for Ashley in the beginning. But Ashley the Witch and her fiance this week, he gets really emotional. I forgot he had kids. So he got really emotional. He wants to be able to share this celebration with Ashley and his family back in Ecuador. But, he can't share it, so he gets emotional about it. Okay. Like, I don't even think that these two should be getting married. Based on what we've seen during the season, these two should not get married. They definitely should not be getting married, but they're going to get married. And we're going to have to deal with it. And based off next week's episode, there's a hurricane coming, and her wedding's about to be a wash. Literally. Literally. But I have to say, their scenes this episode were actually fun to watch because they were really celebrating. They went to the strip club. They were doing all kinds of stuff. I have to say, their storyline, Ashley's storyline this week was actually interesting. Rahina says, I stopped watching. Come on. I'm just ready for the tell-all. But we probably have a couple more weeks before we get the tell-all. I'm just sort of over this season. What's after 90 Day Fiancé? Is it 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days? Oh, Breon. Thank you for sharing, Breon. I saw this comment. Breon says, had a Jamaican fling that gave me 90 Day green card vibes, but he was fun. Here's the thing. Breon knew what she was doing. She left that sucker in Jamaica. She wasn't trying to bring it here to the United States. Good for you, Breon. You got your back, bro. And you said, and I'm moving on. Walk off. That's what you said to him, which is fine. I'm sure Terry McMillan wishes she did the same. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. All right. So I know a lot of you are here to talk about Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion. We will get to them in just a second, but I do want to talk about this other story that's going around in regards to the housewives. All right, we got a lot to talk about, and it's already almost 2:00. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's first talk about this story in regards to AnnMarie, aka 8.5. I'm going to call her AnnMarie for this story, though, because AnnMarie posted on social media that she was not happy about Drunk Drawn's post in regards to them making her look very muscular. All right. So she wrote this on Instagram in regards to the story, in regards to the photo, the artwork that has now been taken down. So AnnMarie says this: racism and cyberbullying. In case anyone wants to understand the level that I've been dealing with, here you go. I am a black woman. I am a former collegiate athlete. I wake up at 4:30 a.m. every day to work out, and I'm proud of the muscles and body that I have earned. I am proud to show all the girls that you don't need to be a size 0 to love your body and feel worthy, that you can be strong, athletic, and proud of yourself. I'm proud to be a role model for girls and women that don't fit the quote model mold. I'm 5'9", 150 pounds, a size 6, and I share that information proudly and openly. Drawing a black woman as a gorilla is disgusting and completely unacceptable. Black women are strong and beautiful. Throughout history, black women have been villainized as combative, aggressive, angry, dangerous, and, quote, animalistic at every opportunity. This is nothing compared to the microaggressions and name-calling. This is an entirely different level of racism and hatred. I am a mother. I take care of people for a living. There is a kind-hearted human with feelings, children, and a real life behind the snippets you see on a reality TV show. Enough of the racism and enough of the cyberbullying. Shame on you, Drunk Drawn. So, Drunk Drawn, as you know, if you're familiar with their Instagram account, usually draws these very exaggerated art pieces of the housewives and pop culture. All right. So Drunk Drawn has since issued an apology. They've taken down the AnnMarie artwork, and they said this in their apology on their Instagram account. They said, I made a mistake. If you follow me, you know I exaggerate the human form and behavior in pop culture. I want to acknowledge the recent post I made of AnnMarie Wiley. I've seen both AnnMarie's response and several followers mention the racism this triggers, and I should have known better. I want to make it clear that that was not my intention. Please forgive me and know that I will carry this lesson with me and to do better going forward. Well, a lot of folks in the comments, well, not a lot, there was a mix, but a lot of people were saying, oh, this is what they do. Here's the thing. I'm not going to negate AnnMarie's feelings on what was triggered by seeing this art form. I've seen some pictures from Drunk Drawn that's made me go, it feels a little, I don't want to say bullyish. It feels a little insulting, some of the work. But here's the other part of that. Here I go twerking on the fence, but that's what we do over here religiously. It's also art. So it's hard to discredit or critique someone's art. But I love the fact that Drunk Drawn took accountability, took it down, and heard other black women defending AnnMarie in the comments and other black men defending AnnMarie in the comments in regards to what it triggered in her. It's not necessarily about, because I've also seen some white women that probably are the majority that follow Drunk Drawn trying to negate or navigate AnnMarie's feelings on what she's being triggered in regards to this photo. All right. So I appreciate Drunk Drawn just shutting down all of that in regards to like, oh, I didn't see anything wrong with it. Drunk Drawn saw enough and understood enough. Like, that was not my intention. Let me clear it up. Let me apologize. A lot of other people could learn from what Drunk Drawn did here. And probably how they navigate this type of stuff in the future. Of course, I wanted to talk about that since we're talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. You know, we talked about this during our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap. We talked about Erika and these earrings, okay? So our friends over at the Bravo docket wanted to clear some stuff up in regards to the earrings. Cause I've been like, no, I need to hold on, y'all. There we go. I need to get the facts of the situation because I don't remember all the legal stuff that has surrounded Erika, Jayne, and those earrings, okay? So our friends over at the Bravo docket remind us about the legal part of the earrings. So they write this on their Instagram. If you're not following the Bravo docket, be sure to follow them, support them, because you know what we do here. We always cite our sources. I also saw a clip of Erika meeting with the victims. I'm not sure if it's for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or her own spinoff that's coming on, Bet It on Blonde. But there's a clip of her meeting with the victims. How convenient. So Erika. So the Bravo docket writes this on their Instagram account. They posted this about 3 days ago. They said, first, some undisputed facts. All right. In December of 2020, Girardi and Girardi Keese were forced into involuntary bankruptcy, and the bankruptcy trustee discovered a suspicious withdrawal from a client trust account that was supposed to go to the diabetes patients for a lawsuit over a diabetes drug. So they captioned and said, all of the above is from the same day, May 1st of 2023. Court order Erika discussed in this week's episode. They continue. Some more undisputed facts. Specifically, Girardi wrote a check from the client trust account for the diabetes patients for $750,000 payable to M&M Jewelers on March 2nd of 2007. And they cite the actual, where it's in court documents that it states this. Again, the Bravo docket captions and says, all of the above is from the same day, May 1st, 2023, court order Erika discussed in this week's episode. Because Erika, this week's episode is very upset that the ladies haven't celebrated her appeal win, which doesn't mean that she's gotten the earrings. All right? Some more undisputed facts from our friends over at the Bravo docket. After figuring out the earrings were purchased with client money from the trust account, the bankruptcy trustee asked Erika to turn them over to the bankruptcy estate. Erika refused. The bankruptcy trustee filed a motion for the earrings to be turned over, and the bankruptcy judge granted the motion, and then Erika filed an appeal. Again, all of the above is from the same day on May 1st of 2023, court order Erika discussed in this week's episode. So Erika made 2 arguments on the appeal. Erika lost her first argument. First, Erika argued that the bankruptcy court is barred from the statute of limitations or by a legal concept called latches, which because the earrings had been in Erika's possession since 2007. Okay? Second, Erika argued that the bankruptcy court failed to prove that the earrings were the property of the bankruptcy estate. This is important because the bankruptcy court only has authority over property belonging to Tom Girardi or Girardi Keese. So if the earrings were purchased entirely with money that never belonged to Girardi or Girardi Keese, the bankruptcy court may not have a claim to them. The court ruled in favor of Erika's second argument because the court found that the earrings were purchased with client money from the diabetes patient trust account. Look, this is why legal mumbo jumbo can get so complicated. So this means Erika won her second argument on a... wait, wait a second. Y'all know I have it in here. Hold on.
We're on appeal for legal reasons.
So this means Erika won her second argument on appeal because the court found that the earrings were undisputably purchased with client trust money belonging to the diabetes patients. So she wants the ladies to be like, oh my God, that's amazing, Erika. You won your appeal. It was proven that the earrings were bought with victim money. The only reason why you won the appeal is because that particular court is only supposed to oversee the bankruptcy that Girardi and Girardi Keese are involved in. It wasn't their money for them to oversee. Shout out to the Bravo docket. But what about Erika's statement on this week's episode? She says, in other words, you can't prove that the money used to buy the earrings was client money. You can't do that, so they shouldn't be taken in the first place. I hope, Crystal Cricket, I hope you saw this post before the reunion. I can't remember. It's 3 days ago? Probably not. But hopefully you were in the DMs of a lawyer. So was Erika lying to the audience and her RHO Beach castmates when she made the statement, or was Erika simply not educated on the court's unequivocal holding that the earrings were purchased with client funds? And this is why I was like, I can't remember the specifics about this case, but I was like, I think we're pretty sure that this was bought with client funds. So your appeal had nothing to do with whether or not this was bought with client funds. It definitely was, Erika. Here's the current status of the earring dispute. The earring dispute has been remanded, sent back to the bankruptcy court. Erika and the bankruptcy trustee filed lengthy briefs, which Bravo Docket will likely discuss in an episode. So far, the court doesn't seem to be finding Erika's arguments particularly credible. Go figure. All right. Shout out to our friends over at the Bravo Docket. If you're not following and supporting them and their podcast, what are you doing? Okay. What are you doing? So that is something that I wanted to talk about. All right. Since we're talking about the Real Housewives, it's been a while since we talked about Monica, Reality Von Teese, Darnell, Delgado, Garcia Fowler, Jussie Smollett. And scene. Well, she was spotted recently at the gay club. She was spotted at the gay club having a great old time, and based off her interview with our friends over at Ricky Cornish, it seems as if she is playing the game. It seems as she doesn't want to burn a bridge with Bravo. Take a listen to what she said in this recent interview. A brief snippet of what she said in this recent interview with Ricky Cornish. Hold on, y'all.
That they're going to go into production like in a month or so, and you're not going to be there.
I think that it was the right decision for the time. Just kidding, I don't. I don't really think that. I really don't think that. I think everyone should put on their big girl panties and deal with it. I think a lot of people, including myself, wanted resolve. They wanted maybe a different approach to where it wasn't a reunion setting to resolve things, to really just have a conversation, because it was tense. And part of the reunion was brutal. I was checked out, and I know I let a lot of the fans down, and I'm so sorry, but that was like hour 12, 13. I was over it. I'm like, I'm getting nowhere. I knew I was getting nowhere. I knew before going in, nothing I could say was gonna change anything. So I think we should have gone right into filming. Truly, that's how I feel. Like, we're all there to do a job. Let's do it, and let's resolve it, and let's move on. I don't think anything was done that's not fixable, so.
Okay. Do you agree with Monica, Reality Von Teese, Darnell, Delgado, Garcia Fowler, Jussie Smollett? I'm getting better with remembering all the names. Yay! What do you guys think? She said more in this interview. She did say more in this interview. Let me see if I can play this for you guys. Hold on.
You know, obviously the filming is wrapped. They're going into a new season. Do you see yourself like ever being friends with some of these women at some point down the road?
I actually love Meredith. I love Mary, and I genuinely love Whitney. They're mad at me, and that's okay. Mary's not. Mary is so sweet, you guys. Mary texts me. We talk every day.
Where do you think the show's going to go from here? Like, how are they honestly going to pick up from not having you on the scene anymore?
You know what? I think that, and I've always said that, if housewives like Nene Leakes, if housewives like Portia Williams, if those shows can continue on, this is the thing. Everyone's replaceable, and I know that. I'm sure they'll be just fine, but I do think that there is, where it's leading off is leaving such a void and open chapters for the fans that people want resolution. Like, that's what we love about these housewives shows is there's conflict and there's resolution, and that's a fact and within a friend group. That happens in real life. And if we're saying this is about a friend group, well, there's fallouts and issues and fights and everything in a friend group. So let's actually conclude that.
A couple questions for you left. I know I love seeing on Twitter people are like, well, if Housewives isn't going to have her, where's the Traitors? Where's House of Villains? Where's Ultimate Girls Trip? Like, could you see yourself doing more reality shows in the future?
I would love to be a traitor.
We know.
I think there is no more fitting show than Traitors. So I'm totally open. Yeah, for sure.
If you were on the Traitors, would you want to be a faithful or a traitor?
That's such a good question, and I have gone back and forth with this. I feel like either way, I'm getting voted off, like first round table, because everyone's gonna, oh, she's a traitor. So either way, I think, same result is gonna happen. But just give me the
So Monica Reality Von Teese, Delgado Darnell, Garcia Fowler, Jussie Smollett is out and about doing the blogs and the media and hanging out. And still a very polarizing figure within the Bravo universe. But she's not throwing anyone under the bus right now. So it looks like she wants to return in any capacity, be it on Traitors, be it on Ultimate Girls Trip. Like I said, I don't think they're trying to film any Ultimate Girls Trips this year. All right. Moving on. Okay. Let's move on to some pop culture news, guys. If you're new to Tuesday Takeover, we cover not just reality TV and reality TV news. We cover everything in pop culture. And there's no way that we could do our Tuesday Takeover and not talk about the Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj beef. All right. So I did do a special episode, so I'm not going to rehash or play any of the audio from, the last, at this point, I don't know how many hours, the last 4 or 5 days since Megan Thee Stallion released her song Hiss. So this song Hiss took a lot of shots at a few different people, mostly at her ex party. So for me and the internet. But there was a line in the song referring to Megan's Law. A lot of people didn't even know what Megan's Law was. I see that the family is now speaking out and considering taking legal action against Megan Thee Stallion and her using that line in their song. Look, I'm not going to navigate or negate the family's feelings on their daughter's name being brought up, okay? But we also have to understand this is hip hop. This was her trying to be clever in regards to using her own name and this law and a hit at Nicki Minaj. All right? And for a lot of people, they didn't even know what Megan's Law was. I feel like it educated people more than anything from that line and that story, to be honest with you. So I saw Moniece Slaughter. You remember Moniece from Love and Hip Hop. She was the first one to come out and slam people like, this is emotional abuse to the family and things like that. Okay. I'm not going to deny that. But I really believe, if anything, it brought more attention to the law for those that did not even know what the law was. All right? And it's not like Megan Thee Stallion used, Megan's entire name. May she, rest in peace. All right. So that is happening. But that's not the bigger part of the story, unfortunately. The bigger part of the story is that because that line, that one line in the song triggered the hell out of the queen of rap, Nicki Minaj. Triggered the hell out of Nicki Minaj. So I did talk about my feelings on that situation. Since I did the podcast episode talking about Nicki Minaj versus Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj has released a song called Bigfoot. All right. So Nicki in this song takes a lot of shots at Megan in regards to, the Tory Lanez situation, a lot of stuff that she had already posted on a rant the last few days. The last few days, she has said all of these things about Megan Thee Stallion on social media, on Queen Radio, and now in a song. Well, sidebar, a lot of the fans are not feeling the song. And even if you're not a fan, some people are not feeling the song. They also feel like you're doing all of this. You're having all these rants on social media Sidebar. Remember I told you she said in an interview with Ebro that she's not talking to the internet? That's all she's been doing all weekend is talking to the internet. It's talking to the internet. I told you I'm gonna keep that energy for 2024. I like what Nicki said in that interview. Only for Nicki to go against what she said, and she's been talking to the internet all weekend. Last night I had to do a video because I really haven't really covered the story besides the podcast episode. I said, Nicki, go to sleep. Nicki, okay, let me play it for you. Hold on, no, I gotta play it for you. I gotta show you what I said. Let me just send it to myself because not RHOP catching strays, not RHOP catching strays. It is what it is. So Nicki has been ranting and raving over this one line, and I get it. It's her family. It's talking about her husband. I get it. But I'd much rather if she had just in her next song did what Megan Thee Stallion did. So this morning, Megan Thee Stallion also announced that she would be going on tour this summer and releasing her third studio album independently. All this will be independently. So let me play for you what I said last night in regards to this, because I just could not believe that Nicki was going on and on and on and on about this one line. Mind you, there were so many other people that were catching strays in this song. So let me see if I can. Let me just do this. Hold on, y'all. Oh wait, this is the wrong one I sent to myself. I sent myself the Spanish one. I did a Spanish version of this, y'all. Hold on. Let me. Hold on. Okay. Come on. There we go. All right. Let me say thank you because we did get a couple of super chats as well in just a second. All right. Let me just show you this. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. So this is what I had to say to Nicki Minaj yesterday, because it just hit an all-time high for me in regards to her constantly talking. Even after she released the song, and she set all kinds of records releasing the song, and she's posting about setting all these records. I set all these records in regards to the song. That's because everybody wanted to hear what you had to say. They thought they were going to hear something new that you haven't said on social media. But she already has set records. We've talked about this. And I told you, I just wish she would have focused on the success and the records that she was breaking with her new album. But the fact that she had this reaction.
I will speak for the internet, even including your own barbs. I need you to get off of the internet. I need you to stop talking about Megan Thee Stallion. I need you to just let it go. You cannot be this insecure after all that you have achieved as a solo hip-hop artist. It's been over 72 hours. Go to sleep. We all need a moment. We don't want to see a tweet. We don't want to hear audio. We don't need to hear another song. Go to sleep. Go watch a marathon of Real Housewives of Potomac. That will put you to sleep. This current season.
Sorry, Potomac. Look, sorry, Potomac. I just never know what's coming to come out my mouth. So I kept it in. I just wanted her just to get off the internet. You said in that interview with Ebro that you were not going to speak to the internet. And that's all you have been doing all week. And a lot of the fans are like, all this time she's spending on the internet and creating this new song, a beat that she wanted to use for this song wasn't getting cleared. Apparently the beat was by the same producer of the Hiss beat. And she said, oh, I've had this beat for 6 years. And now they don't want to clear it. Well, it would make sense if it's from the same producer of Hiss. Just saying. She's talked about Megan Thee Stallion's body count. She accused Megan Thee Stallion trying to flirt with her husband. But you know what I love about Megan Thee Stallion right now? Megan hasn't said a word. Megan hasn't said a word. Megan has posted beautiful pictures of herself on social media. All right. She's been posting all kinds of beautiful photos of herself on social media right now. She said, go listen to Hiss. Hiss is breaking all kinds of records as well. Both Bigfoot and Hiss are like in the top of like Apple Music right now. And of course, today, with all of the fallout, again, she's not responding to Nicki Minaj. She's announcing, Megan Thee Stallion is announcing her third studio album is coming, and she will be doing a Hot Girl Summer tour. She's learned from the best. Don't forget, she signed to Roc Nation, inadvertently connected to Beyonce, who doesn't respond and speak to the internet. All right? So please understand, she's taking notes from the greats over there. I'm sure they're probably don't respond. Because now I hear that Nicki Minaj is also slamming one of the executives over at Roc Nation. She's like, oh, you went to the Roc Nation brunch. They got you feeling yourself. So is she taking shots at Jay-Z? Ooh. Oh, Nicki. I hate this for you. I really do. I do. It's sad. It's very, very sad. And it's sad to see. I mean, I've seen a lot of barbs turned on this whole situation because during this rant and rave over the weekend, Nicki even went after Megan Thee Stallion's mom. Went after her mom. Talking about how she lied on her mom. I was just like, what is happening here? What is happening here? So I mentioned that, all right? Was there anything else in regards to the Nicki Minaj stuff? I mean, both songs are breaking all kinds of records. A lot of hip-hop heads would say, this is good for hip-hop. This is good for hip-hop. The last podcast episode that I did where I talked about this story, I said it's been a while since I've seen like a male beef like this in hip-hop. But then I was reminded by myself, because I remember seeing the story, Eminem and Benzino are fighting now and releasing diss tracks. Why? Look, why? 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 So that beef is happening in hip hop right now. But here's the thing. That beef seems to just stay on the record and not in tweets or Queen Radio. You know what I mean? Or seeing other hip hop artists be used to be sort of like the bodyguard for another rapper. There is a difference, and I hate this. I hate this. All right, let me say thank you because we got a couple of super chats. Julie, thank you so much for the super chat. Julie says, bravo, drop the ball. Bring back Monica. Okay. Chocolate Soul, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate your support. Rahina, thank you so much for the super chat. Rahina says, I listened to your podcast, Nicki's Live. My God, so disturbed. I low-key was scared. Bringing up Meg's deceased mother, so bizarre. Yeah. Keela, thank you so much for the super chat. Keela says, a perfect union. Him equaled $0. Her equals 0 cents. In regards to Nicki and Kenneth Petty, oh, Lord. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, my goodness. I mean, the internet will never fail because the amount of comments I've seen, some of you guys and your slick talk about this whole Nicki and Megan situation. I saw Chris Brown saying free Tory Lanez. Chris. Y'all sure Chris Brown is a Taurus? I can't believe that he's a Taurus. No. All right. Hold on. Selena says, yes, Benzino ate him, hence why he didn't respond. I only heard a brief snippet of Benzino's reply. I'm not even that interested in their beef, to be honest with you. Benzino and Eminem. Apparently, they've had beef for years, though. Like good 30 years almost. All right. I don't know why you would, but okay. Nicole, thank you so much for the super chat. Nicole says, Nicki Minaj needs to drink not a flat Coca-Cola with 2 ice cubes before she decides to do a 72-hour rant. Oh, God. God. I mean, a soda sounds good right about now. I don't even drink soda like that. All right. Was there anything else that I wanted to say about this situation? Oh, my goodness. I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. Oh, no, I didn't. So, every once in a while, we like to get into some real life stories. And look, this story is a long one to recap. All right. This is a long one, but I'm not going through the 7-part series that is this woman's life. You can go on TikTok to watch this. But can we talk about Gail Lewis? Oh, you saw that story. Can we talk about Gail Lewis? I'm just going to give you a part of it, just so you can go do your own deep dive on TikTok in regards to the saga that is her now life. Woo! Gail Lewis found that her husband, allegedly, thank you, Yolissa. We'll talk about the trust right after this, because it's a perfect segue into the trust. So Gail Lewis apparently found out that her husband of 20-something years was cheating. All right? She found out that her husband was cheating from a airline representative. I'm still a little confused by this, but I'm going to play the story for you from her own words. All right? So let me play this clip. Shout out to our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk. Like I said, you can see the full story on Gail's TikTok. Oh, Adrian. Adrian says, I want to see Gail on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Pronto. Doesn't Gail know Candy? I mean, a lot of the folks in oh, see, I know it. Andrew, thank you. She and Candy Burris are friends. So Candy, give her producer's information right now. Oh, yes, Semhar. Their beef had to do something with Benzino's Source magazine from years ago. All right. Yeah, exactly, Justin. Justice, thank you for the trifling airlines. Come on. Okay, it's about 8 minutes. Go get a snack. I'm actually going to fill my water bottle while this plays because this is a mess. Take a listen.
Let me just preface this by saying I'm a nice person. I'm a sweet person. I'll do anything for my family and my friends. And I'll help anybody out. Try to stay in my own lane. I try not to bother anyone or do any of that. But when people play in my face and plot and plan and do foul stuff, I'm not so nice anymore. And that's how most of us are. So let me start by saying on October 29th of 2022, my husband was scheduled to come home from a trip from Europe. He told me he had been over there working, and he worked a lot for his corporate job. I thought he was working anyway. Told me he had a speaking engagement in Europe. So I wanted to make sure that I had dinner and everything ready for him by the time he got home. So I called the airline. So I knew the flight number. And I was driving, so I couldn't, type it in my computer, because usually if you just type a flight number in, it'll just pop up what time the flight's going to land. So I had to call the airline that day. And when I asked the flight attendant, or not the flight attendant, I'm sorry, but the representative, what time that flight came in, he asked for my husband's name. And I was like, you don't need his name. I was like, just give me the flight information. If I typed it in, it just needs the flight information. You don't need his name. So he was adamant about me giving the name. So I gave him the name. He comes back a few minutes later and he says, Mr. Such and Such and Miss What's Her Name landed 20 minutes ago. So I'm in shock because I've been married 25, 26 years, and I'm thinking I'm just married to this upstanding citizen. So I said, no, just his name. I don't know who that other person is, but
pause. This is interesting because why would this representative need this information, be giving all of this information? I mean, I hope they don't lose their job, but thank you, right? Because if she didn't get this information, she would have never known. She would have went on not knowing. Okay, let's continue. We still got 7 more minutes.
That's his name. And the guy states again, he was like, Mr. Such and Such and Miss What's Her Name just landed a few minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. So I'm sitting in the Kroger parking lot like, what does this mean? I'm in a state of shock, actually. So my head is spinning by this time. My blood pressure's going up. And I'm like, what does this mean? So I'm like, okay. So right after that, my husband calls. And I was trying to hold it in, trying to hold what I was feeling in. So I was like, I'm not going to say anything right now. I'm going to wait till he gets to the house. Because he was like, oh, I missed you. It's been a long, long week. It's the hardest money I ever earned. But I wish you could have gone with me. And I was like, okay, well, you can tell me about your trip when you get home. So, okay, stand by, y'all, for the rest. So, okay, y'all. So when he comes home, I greet him at the door, give him a hug and a kiss and ask him about his trip while he's unpacking. And so I'm like, show me some pictures from your trip. And he was like, oh, I didn't take any pictures. I was running around working and we were just so busy and on the go. We were just, just going to and fro. So I was like, oh, okay. So we go to have dinner. I was like, hey, I called the airlines to see what time your flight was getting in. And I said, they told me there was someone else on your itinerary. And I tell him the person's name. And he was like, who was that? And I was like, I don't know. You tell me. He was like, oh, I don't know who that is. And he was like, He said, they must have made a mistake. So I was like, well, okay. So I went along with it, but something about it, my spirit just was not feeling right. So I was like, something about this is just not right. So that night when we go to bed, he's sleeping over there just snoring. I'm over there tossing and turning because I was like, something about this just does not feel right. So something tells me in the morning when you get up, go check your credit card bills that are on the counter. So the credit card bills are all stacked up out on our kitchen counter, and I don't open them because I don't pay the bill. I mean, it's American Express bill each month. They be high. So I was like, I ain't got nothing on it, so no need for me to open them. But that was my account, and I added him to it years ago, and I just let him open the bill and pay it. And there was sometimes I would open it, but most times I would just look at my portion of it and just keep it moving. So that morning when I get up, I go to church, and he tells me that he had to leave because he had to catch up on work and all that kind of stuff later on in the day. So I was like, okay. So I go to church, and when I come back from church, I get ready to go to the Falcon game. But something was like, check one of those credit card bills before you go. When I open up that bill, the woman that the airline employee mentioned that was on his itinerary, her name was up and down my credit card bill. Flights here.
Pause. Why would her name be on the credit card bill? I get credit cards bill from Amex. I don't see people's names unless she works for a company and he enlists that company. Is she a woman of the night? I have questions, and this is why I'm pausing. But I also want to pause because I have seen this revelation in the story. Cassandra, I've seen this part. Cassandra says, all this ranting she's doing, and evidence has come out that she, allegedly, I will say, was the side piece to her now husband she was married to for 25 years. She got called out by the first wife, allegedly. So let's continue with what Gail has to say. Gail?
Flights there, flights to Paris, Delta vacations, country here, island there. So I'm thinking this was in 1 month. So I'm sitting there like, what in?
Sidebar, I'm jealous. Look. I'm just jealous of all the places that they went in 1 month. Wow. They're doing well over there at the Lewis household. All right. Anyways, let me get back to it.
The world. So by this time, y'all, I'm steaming, and I got to go to this Falcon game with my girlfriends and try to act like I'm having a good time. But the whole time, my mind is racing. So I was like, okay. So I come home that night. I stack up all those bills. I got bills for like 8 months worth of bills. Actually, that was October, so 10 months. I pulled from December of 21 to October of 22. And when I tell you, it was very telling. This woman's name was on every one of my bills for each of those months, several times. So while I thought he was out working...
I'm still confused. Maybe I need to start looking at my credit card bills. Is it putting my name on it? Besides that I'm the person? I don't get why the mistress name would be on your credit card bill. Where's Whitney Houston when you need her? I don't get it. I don't understand. But you guys in the comments section will get me together and be like, Kempire, no, if you do this and this, unless he is eliciting business from this woman's company, and that's why her name keeps showing up. Mistress LLC? I don't know. All right, let me keep playing.
And telling me that I couldn't travel with him because, he didn't want to get distracted. Oh, he had a travel mate, all right. He had one. Stand by for part 3. So I go through all these credit card bills, finds this girl's name for months on my credit card bills, for the last 10 months specifically. So at that time, I try to call his phone, call my husband's phone and text him. No answer, no text back. So I called his boy's house because he told me he was going to his boy's house to watch football. No answer from him. So I texted him and was like, hey, is he with you? No answer back. Then all of a sudden, here come my phone ring. It's my husband. Like, oh, I ran out to get something to eat. Like, what's up? And I was like, oh, you know what's up? I said, and I started repeating the girl's name. And he was like, why do you keep saying that name? And I was like, I kept saying the name. So he was like, well, I don't understand why you keep calling the name. And I was like, oh, yeah. I said, your gig is up. I was like, you nasty motherfucker. I was like, your gig is up. So he was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm on my way home. I was like, bring your ass on home. I was like, come home. Because by this time, I'm furious. So I hang up the phone. I'm just like livid, y'all. I promise you. I think my blood pressure was on like 1,000 that day. So he comes in, and he come in like all bitter bad, like, why do you keep mentioning that name? And I was like, you tell me why I keep mentioning that name. So I was like, I'm going to ask you this. I said, I'm going to ask you one time. I said, no, I know the truth. I was like, was such and such on this flight with you? He was like, no, I don't know why you keep mentioning that name. I don't know who that is. I said, I'm going to ask you one more motherfucking time and know that I know the truth. Ooh. Don't lie to me. And it was like this mask fell off of him. And he sat down in his chair and he was like, yeah, she was with me. And I was like, okay. I said, so that's your girlfriend? He was like, yeah. I said, well, how long you been with her? He said, a couple of years. And I was like, okay. So by this time, I can't hold it together. I mean, I think all I remember doing, I remember crying, and I had a really, really bad headache. And all he said to me was, and this was what he says was really kind of like cut me. He was like he was relieved. He was like, at least I ain't got to lie no more. I'm sorry I hurt you, but at least I don't have to lie anymore. So by this time, I'm like, say what now? So I'm screaming, I'm yelling. My son's upstairs. He comes down, goes back up because I was like, everything's fine. But my head is like hurting like really, really bad, guys. So I come back to my bathroom to try to get some medicine. So I was like, let me take my blood pressure. Blood pressure was like 190 over 110 or some crazy shit like that. So I was like, I gotta get to a hospital. So stand by.
I'm not standing by, Gail. I'll wait for it for the Sweet 16 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Candy, this is how you can secure your $1 million contract. Bring Gail, stat. So some of you said that she's the mistress is a travel agent, has a travel agency, so that's how they were able to solidify this information. People still use travel agency. No, I know some people do. So I saw this story late last night, and I said, we briefly talked about it yesterday. I think it was during our Married to Medicine recap. Someone had brought it up, one of the callers. So I was just like, oh, you know what? I need to dig into that story because I only had seen the headlines. So I listened to that last. I was like, oh, hell. So there are a lot of holes in the story that don't necessarily make sense to me. Like, so you're telling me a representative at the airport basically told on your husband. So it makes me wonder if they knew something and that's why they said something, because normally you would not give out that information. So we shall see. I'm going to continue to follow the story on the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16. Maybe? Well, since we're talking about trust, let's talk about the Netflix series, The Trust. Okay. Where's my, hold on. The Trust. Are you guys watching the Netflix series, The Trust? A Game of Greed. Let me tell you something. I do want to give you guys a trigger warning, especially if you're black and if you're a black woman. I'm going to give you a trigger warning because I'm on episode, I think, like 6 or 7. It could be triggering. But when I watched episode 1, I did a quick recap on TikTok and I said, this show is going to examine triggers that people haven't thought about. or seen in reality TV or have seen in reality TV, socioeconomic issues. Oh, they touch on everything. So for those that don't know what The Trust is, it's a reality competition show. They're starting off with $250,000 that they can split amongst themselves, but they've got to trust each other through all these sort of temptations and games and see who makes it to the end, because they can vote someone off if they don't trust them anymore throughout the weeks leading up to the end. So at the very beginning, what's his name? He's in the middle behind Brooke, and I think he's black, Hispanic, I'm not sure. His name is Jules. He came in, he's actually a cop, but he told the group that he was a stripper. So immediately they were not trusting him. And I think that was his mistake. He was okay, sorry, spoiler alert. I mean, if you're here watching this, you already spoiled it. Don't spoil it for people because I'm not done with it yet, all right? I'm not done with it yet. All right. So I think he did himself a disservice because I think immediately when he told them that he was a stripper, they didn't take him serious, that he was just there for the money, that kind of thing. But I'm not sure if they would have trusted him if he had said that he was a police officer. Some of them may have. All right. But we also find out in this game that Bryce, the young man on the right, is a millionaire. He became a millionaire at 21, but he didn't tell the group initially. But eventually he tells the group, but then tries to make excuses. He's like, well, I don't know where my next check is going to be. And he really tries to make it seem as if, it was the privilege of it all. So a lot of people were just like listening to him. So they eventually decided to get him up out of there. I don't think he should have said anything. If he really wanted to win that money, he shouldn't have said anything. But I have to say this. So Bryce, I believe, he became a millionaire because he comes from money. His family owns like a real estate company. So, of course, they gave him a job. And I'm sure they gave him this $1 million property. And him selling that $1 million property made him a millionaire. His parents set him up. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But why the hell would you be on this show trying to win a couple of $1,000s after you already are a millionaire and come from money? This is why they were like, we need to get rid of you. We need to get rid of you. Well, not everyone, because it doesn't take the entire house to vote someone out. All right? So a few people have already left based off, I think I'm on episode 6 or 7. But like I said, it could be a little triggering. One of the most triggering things in the very beginning was that Tolu, who's beautiful, Tolu. Oh my gosh. Tolu is gorgeous. And her hair, her wig, it doesn't matter. She's gorgeous. She should go on to model. At the very beginning, they're able to take a power away from someone being able to vote, and they choose her as one of the people along with Bryce. And she talked about how triggering that is, especially as a black woman, taking her power away in that moment. And I was like, oh, this is deep. This is all in episode 1. But let me tell you something that annoyed the hell out of me. All right. So when Bryce is voted off, okay, Bryce, the redhead, the millionaire, when he's voted off, Jay makes a comment about Brian. Brian, who is the cowboy, he has a really beautiful story on why he's here. He's trying to adopt a child, so he needs some money to, give security to the fact that the adoption agencies will be like, yes, you can take care of this child. Put him in a good position. Seems very loyal. Seems like he's going to be above the fray. He's not voting anyone out. He wants the crew and the cast to be together. All right? So he makes a comment about how Bryce he was cut from a different cloth, but he didn't say that. He said some other phrase. All right? So Jay says, what's that mean? Because Jay, Jay at the top, she was something else. Jay, okay, again, spoiler. If you're watching this, you're getting a lot of spoilers. I apologize, all right? You still could have gotten out of here. Jay ends up leaving with $30,000. Good for her. Good for her. But she's like, I'm getting up out of here. I'm going to take this $30,000 and I'm out. All right? But she made a comment to Brian, which made Brian go like, what are you trying to say? Because she was like, what does that term mean in regards to Bryce? because I think she thought maybe he was being a little homophobic towards Bryce. But in the same breath, after Jay said that to him, and after there's been a target on Jay's back for the last couple of episodes, immediately he targets Tolu and Winnie. He's like, they're dangerous. Excuse me? They're dangerous? So I'm triggered. I'm like, what do you mean? How do we go from Jay, and who Jay has been a target? Jay has been a target. And then all of a sudden, in the same breath, Brian is like, oh, Winnie and Tolu are dangerous. Really? And look, I'm not going to sit here and act as if they can't be dangerous. However, it was weird. It was weird how you went from being attacked by Jay and then jumping towards these two women. It will trigger you, but it's a very interesting. This is why I like reality TV. This is why I love reality TV. It's the psychology of what happens in these sort of environments, especially when we're talking about unconscious bias. All right? This was an interesting watch. I'm still in the middle of it. So next week, if I'm still watching, we can talk more about it. But the trust, interesting. Okay, Gaspare? How do you pronounce his name? I can't remember. I call him the Staten Island guy. He reminds me of someone from New York. He is from Staten Island. I like him so far, even though he's, falling into the whole bro mentality here with the guys. Jake has been getting a lot of heat. Julie is the one to watch. She's been lying. She's already taken some money from the trust. And she's been lying. But she felt really upset because, sidebar, Winnie was voted out. She was voted out. But Winnie, you went down fighting, girl. I thought that you really had a chance at the end because Winnie lays it out. She knew that they were ready to vote her out. But she's like, Lindsay has been lying to all of us. Lindsay. Mind you, Lindsay, like in front of them, she gives you very calm. In her confessional, she's very like, ah. I'm like, okay, Lindsay. And when she presented the facts to the group and they were like, Lindsay, you have anything to say for yourself? Lindsay was like, no. And they still voted Winnie out after Winnie proved. She said, she's been running back to you guys and telling you this and then running back to us and telling us that, literally showing how distrustful she is. But they still voted out Winnie. Poor Tolu broke down because Winnie and Tolu formed a sisterhood that was so beautiful. Even Julie. But Julie's like, I'm not voting out Winnie. I already told her from the beginning, I'm not voting her out. Because no matter how you feel about Julie and Julie being dishonest, you could see that there was a level of loyalty. And Julie represents a sector of, I don't come from a lot. So this is part of the reason why I'm doing this show. But now Julie and Jake are having some sort of love affair. At the beginning, she's sort of like, oh, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play him. I don't know if she's playing him anymore. I think now she's also garnering feelings for him, but we shall see. Poor Simone. Poor Simone was voted out. Barely remember her, but no. Jules was the first voted out. Simone was the next. Bryce was after that. Then Winnie. Jay left. Jay's like, I'm taking my $30,000 and I'm out of here. It's a really interesting reality show. I do like the host, Brooke. Brooke, she's an actress, isn't she? I feel like I've seen her before. I actually like her as a host. There's something like sympathetic, but also haunting. Like she's a good host. And that's why I feel like she must be an actress because she's able to give like a different energy. All right. Tolu's gorgeous though. Look at Tolu. This group, I have to say, I don't know. That Brian and Winnie and Tolu situation really was just like disappointing to me because I really liked Brian because I felt like Brian was trying to be loyal to the group from the beginning. But the minute that Jay had called him out in a moment and he jumped to calling Tolu and Winnie dangerous, I can't wait for the reunion if they're doing one. I don't know if they're doing a reunion. I don't know. They need one because we need to unpack some of what played out in this show. The Trust on Netflix. They're not paying me, but Come on now. Come on now. Oh yes, Brooke is from CNN. I was like, wait a second. I know I've seen her face before. She definitely is a personality. Is she? I think she is from CNN. How do you go from CNN to this? I like her though. Look, I like her. You know what I also like? Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, guys. Don't forget, you can get yourself some roses, or maybe your loved one can get you some roses, your partner, whoever it may be. Head on over to roseforever.com, but don't forget to use the discount code Kempire40 for $40 off. Plus, you can get free worldwide shipping with the discount code Influencer. More information on that will be available in the description of the video and audio if you're listening to this. Don't forget to subscribe to the Kempire podcast on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And while you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. This is our Tuesday takeover where we cover so much. And shout out to all of you, because I almost forgot to talk about the trust. I almost forgot about it. And I still have a lot more opinions on it. I have shared some of my initial opinions on my TikTok and Instagram, so be sure to follow me there if you haven't already. I am into it. I like a game that's very different. And it's very different, and it's unpacking, and it's just taking on things when it comes to race, when it comes to socioeconomics. There's a lot happening in this reality competition show. And it went from being like, we're not going to vote anyone off, to like, fighting for this money. And to be honest with you, it's a lot of money, but it's not like it's $1 million. You know what I mean? And then they're also tempted. They're tempted throughout the game with these going into the vault. They go into the vault, and then they have these different offers. All right. And Brian, in the episode that I just watched, he was offered $30,000. And sometimes you can't even open the offer to see what it is before rejecting it. You have to reject it or open it, and then you automatically accept it. And there's always some sort of something that might not be why you would want to take the offer. But he's like, I'm going to take this $30,000 and I can still be in the game. And I can be still in the game. Thank you, Courtney. Yes, we figured it out. Brooke was a former CNN newscaster. Wow. Chocolate Soul says, Kempire, are you watching 90 Day Diaries? No, I'm kind of 90 Day Fiancé out. Because the seasons have been so the same and nothing new and fake and pre-produced. I'm so glad that Netflix is really starting to release some top quality reality television and some other platforms as well, like the Traitors. So I'm more in my competition bag. I haven't talked about Big Brother season 6 because I kind of put it to the side while I've been watching The Trust. But I am in the middle of watching season 6 of Big Brother, which is a good season. Oh, Kaser got voted out. Oh, whoa, Kaser. But somebody's about to come back, and Kaser could be one of them. So we shall see. I'm still watching Big Brother season 6. Just so much to watch in so little time. Guys, don't forget, speaking of so little time, there's only a few more weeks until our February 16th Washington, D.C. tour date. Kempire After Dark is coming to Washington, D.C., and I hope you will come there with me. There are low ticket prices on the tickets. Well, not low ticket prices, low ticket alert. I should point out, not low ticket prices. Low ticket alert on general admission, and definitely on the VIP meet and greet. Be sure to head on over to the description of this video or audio if you're listening. Get your DC ticket because we only have like 30 something tickets left. Yesterday was like 39. I think it's like less than that, or like 30. I don't remember, like 36 or something like that. So be sure to check that out. If you're waiting to get your ticket, don't wait too long. You'll be left outside the club. Nobody wants to be left outside the club. Anyways, Replay Crew, we will be posting the timestamps in the description of the video so that you can go to the stories that you want, or you can just play us in the background, or you can subscribe to the podcast version and you can play us in the background as you're running errands or you're cleaning the kitchen. That way you don't have to watch. It's okay. Either one works for me. All right. Subscribe to the Kempire Podcast. We've changed the name to the Kempire Podcast on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And don't forget to check out our sponsor, Rose Forever. Shout out to our channel members. To become a channel member, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. And of course, we could not do this without our subscribers and our King's Guards. Be sure to thank our King's Guards. I will see you guys in the next one. And that will probably be Vanderpump Rules, our recap tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. All right, y'all. Talk to you guys later. Bye.